Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bashir Fancy. I'm the president of BIZTEK, Business and Technology Professional Association of Canada. We're non-profit education, certification, sharing of the knowledge. You can go to biztek.org. I'll give you all that later. I'm here, more importantly, for a more important subject, as you can see on the screen, Dr. Mohamad Fakih, who actually you know as the president and CEO of Paramount Fine Foods. And so why are we talking today? And I'll give you his background in a second. Is everybody knows that in the last few days, there has been unfortunate disaster in Lebanon with the explosion that literally demolished a significant part of the city in Beirut. A lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people are injured. We don't know if people are missing. So as Canadians, we've always stepped up to help when we got a chance to do that. And such is a chance this time for us to do that. And this is one of the important things that Dr. Fakih reminded me, is what we're going to talk about is not because it's Lebanon. We do that regardless of where this happens. And it's something of pride that we can help another human being. So Dr. Mohamad Fakih, if you guys remember, when the Syrian refugee crisis happened, and a lot of the people, Canada took them, Dr. Fakih was actually one of the first ones in the line to not only help, but he actually hired approximately 150 people into the restaurants. Those of you who haven't tried Lebanese food, you might want to go and try Paramount Fine Foods. They're fantastic. And they've got lots of locations. Now, that's the other interesting thing, that he took a restaurant that got bankrupt. He bought that and built a significant, I think it's the fastest growing Lebanese or probably Arabic restaurant in North America. And you know that when you go eat the food or the service and how they've done. But it's the humanity and the fact that Dr. Fakih has actually supported this type of causes is why, for those who are worried about, and we will deal with it, you should help, and you will know in a second why. So I'm going to, Dr. Fakih, thank you very much for taking time to talk to me today about this. You want to introduce yourself? Anything I missed out there?
No, you've done more than I deserve. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much for having me. And for all your listeners, I really appreciate it. As you all know, we saw what happened in Lebanon the last Tuesday, actually. Today, the government has resigned, and some French and English help came, military help, to protect the port today. So it seems like Lebanon is going from a stage to another more difficult stage. And that's why we're here today. I'm here to appeal to you all for help to Lebanon. Lebanon has been a very proud country. We know of Lebanon that it's a very proud and beautiful country, is the Switzerland of the Middle East. I grew up hearing that, and most importantly, since I grew up, I was 4 when the war started. Since I grew up, I didn't see it as Switzerland of the Middle East. My mom and dad always promised me in 5 years it will be. Even when I left Lebanon, they told me it's only 5 years and you're going to come back. You're going to be desperate to start a business in Lebanon. Unfortunately, and I did start a business, but unfortunately, we have rebuilt Beirut 7 to 8 times since I was a child. And we will rebuild it again because Lebanese people are resilient. Lebanese people has a good spirit of helping others. Right after this disaster happened, the same day, my team that was in my Paramount stores did not go hide in their houses. They only called their parents to make sure they're okay, and they went to line up to donate blood. That's the Lebanese spirit. You see today, young people in the street of Beirut helping older people, cleaning their houses that got destroyed by the catastrophe. And they don't know them. They've never met them, but they're cleaning their houses. They're helping them to clear a place for them to sleep and to eat. Lebanon today is in a very difficult situation. What happened in Lebanon today is more than what happened to Lebanon during the 2006 war for 1 month bombing for 30 minutes, for 30 days, 24-hour bombing. What happened in Lebanon in 30 seconds, the damage is much greater than that. So it's worth approximately $9 to $10 billion to rebuild. It's going to be around 8 to 10 years before we rebuild. There's 300,000 people homeless today in Lebanon. There is around 5,000 people injured and over 175 that died, and 80,000 children that they will not be able to start the school in Lebanon as we speak. Therefore, as you all know me, I usually ask Canadians for money to help other causes. Nothing, and they were all close to my heart. Not because they were Lebanese causes. I've never asked for money for something that is for me or for my direct impacted community or family. But this time is different. This time I'm appealing to every one of you to donate, because we started something called the Lebanese Canadian Coalition, which is a coalition of business leaders, entrepreneurs, academic, doctors, lawyers that came together and said, this is a bigger cause, and one person alone will never be able to pull it off. Why don't we come together, get united, and get Canadian Lebanese and Canadian from all backgrounds to come and help us with this? Because that's what we are in Canada. We are not just a country, we are one family. And family come together in the time of pain, in the time of hardship. And that's what I'm expecting from all of you and your listeners. I hope we act like one family, we come together, we help. It doesn't matter what is the help. It doesn't matter how much is the help. We can help with our voices, but we want you as well to donate. I am wired in a way that you will only be blessed and you will only be successful, and your ship will never sink if you help other people, if you impact other people's life. And that's why when people say, Mohammed, you start donating before you became rich. I said, one, I'm not rich yet. And number two, I start donating from the beginning because that's the reason of my blessing. That's the reason of me doing well, is because I donated. So it doesn't make sense, the formula, but in reality, that's the only formula that will ever make sense. You talk to an accountant, more you pay, more you make. And they'll say it doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you, in the sadaqah, in the voluntarily giving, in the purpose level, trust me, more you give, more you make. And in Lebanon, the situation is very difficult. People cannot get the help they need. The banking system is corrupt, is blocked. If you have $100,000 in your bank account today, they will give you $300 a week only. So they hold your money, they borrow your money without your permission. And it's your money, it's your bank account. So even wiring money is not the right way. So it took us a little bit long to figure out a way. And then we found a way along with the Canadian government. The Humanitarian Coalition, it's a 12 organization that the Canadian government will be supervising into getting help to Lebanon on the ground. And that makes sure it's people-to-people help. It's not the government of Lebanon touching that money, not the banks of Lebanon touching that money, is arriving to the people that need it the most. And the Humanitarian Coalition include Canadian Food Grains Bank, Action Against Hunger, the Doctors of the World, Humanity and Inclusion, Plan International, World Vision, Oxfam Canada, Islamic Relief, and Save the Children Canada. And what we will be doing is working with our counterpart in Lebanon, but you're donating to their counterpart in Canada, and you're getting a tax receipt. So you donate, you get a tax receipt, and after collectively all the money, as you heard, the government of Canada has announced a match up to $2 million. So every penny we put together, the government will match up to $2 million. Thank you.
I think that's fantastic. You addressed, I don't even have to ask questions. You addressed the details of how the money will get there. And by the way, for folks who are listening, I will tag in a PowerPoint thing at the end of the thing to show you where you go to donate, because the name was just mentioned by Dr. Fakih. The second thing is Canadian government is involved, which is a very important point he just made, so that they're doubling, so anything you do will be doubled. And three, the fact that the money is going to the people on the ground. Those of you who call me to say, well, we're worried about how will the money get there, well, you just heard Dr. Fakih tell you that the money is not going through the banks for the people on the other side to lock up. It's going to be people to people. It's a very, very powerful thing. And one interesting thing Dr. Fakih mentioned about Lebanon being Switzerland of the past, I can tell you, I was there during that time. I was a young guy. We drove through from there to Syria, and somebody would say, well, what the heck are you talking about? We did. And it was the most beautiful place. And none of this problem that we are talking about now was ever there. So I pray and wish. I've been there many times. I got a lot of very close friends. In fact, we get back to that day quickly. And in fact, we feel for any of the people in Canada who were affected because of family or friends, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Those who certainly lost their lives, our condolences and prayers are with you. If you're leaving, Dr. Fakih, a message for the Canadians and one for the people in the Middle East, because they will also hear this, what would you say to the both, the one group in Middle East and certainly the Canadians as a whole?
Well, to the people in the Middle East and the people especially in Lebanon, we hear you. We feel your pain. We'll never feel what you are going through. But we feel it. We understand it. I've been there before. You need to be patient. I can't suggest you not to leave Lebanon. But what I want to suggest you is to continue believing in Lebanon. We are here. We are your ambassadors. We feel like we came here. Please don't think ever that we'll forget about you. We all live outside our country, but our hearts are always attached there. Every time I do something good, even in Canada, and I think anytime I succeed, I want people in Lebanon to know. I want them to know that we represent them properly. And now I want them to know that not only Lebanese immigrants in general, Canadian, immigrant and non-immigrant, wanting to help. So us leaving our countries sometimes comes handy. Sometimes could be helpful, because when the country is trapped like this, the help is going to come from outside. And the help comes from the people from the same blood, the same country, and all their friends that have met them over the years. Like you, you've met me over the years, and now you called me and you said, I want to help. And your listeners, they probably have heard of me or met me. And if not, I will be honored to meet them and break a bread with them. But hearing about each other makes me want to help your community and makes you want to help mine. And to the people of Lebanon, I'll always say, we are with you. We're behind you. We'll always be there for you. Our heart is there, and we will do every single thing we can. I promise you, I will not stop until I convince myself that I have done everything I can in my power and possibility. And to the Canadian, I'll say, look, I came here and I lived in a basement apartment. You made me the man I am today. You and your generosity and the opportunity you've given me is what made me and has given me the opportunity to give back to the community and pay it forward. I know your generosity. I have felt it. Lebanon needs you. The Lebanese people, the Lebanese children deserve better. And hopefully, with your help, with us getting those amounts together, fundraising together, getting it done for them and for our reputation. Because Canada could play a very big role today at the world stage. We're not going to be the best in technology. So hopefully one day we will be. We're not going to be the best in producing weapons. That's not what we are. We do not want to be. We could be the best of exporting our Canadian values and principles, and people helping people, lifting each other up, to strangers and to our family members and to our Canadian citizens alike, is what we can export to the world. So please, let's show one more time the Canadian generosity. Help Lebanon, help the Lebanese people, because they need it and they deserve it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fakih. It's actually fantastic. I'm getting emotional as I hear you. And I tell the people, by the way, as you know, we do a lot of events, educational stuff. We don't charge anything. So I'm going to make a request of you guys. Instead of actually, and we won't charge you going forward for as long as we can do that. So people who wanted to sponsor us, whatever, you can do that, or you can go give the money to Dr. Fakih, because we would rather that we don't want a dime. We want that money to go to this cause. So I'm appealing to all my friends and people who work with us, help this cause. Not only you're getting tax break, but you'll feel good. You are helping people, and they'll make a big difference in people's lives. So I will attach, as I said at the back of the presentation, a PowerPoint with exact links to where you can go to donate. And I want to thank you. And if you've got any questions, our emails are there. You can fire it into us, and we'll get Dr. Fakih to answer anything. There should be no concern for anybody, because you guys know me well for a long time. I will not attach my name to anything. This, I went to Dr. Fakih to say that I want to help, because that's exactly how much I believe in this. And his track record and his reputation is there for everybody. I don't have to add. You'll see the his bio, which I will also attach. So I think I'm really privileged that we are actually taking part in this. So it is we who are feeling good in trying to help somebody, and hopefully we'll get the blessings of the people who we're going to help, right? So it's very important. Like you said, I can't add anything to the, you said everything better than I can say. So Dr. Fakih, thank you very much. I really, really, truly appreciate for you doing this thing. And we look forward to doing our best here. So thanks again.